in the 21st century. Hard-working people working hard for you and me. Moving higher, time and time again. Through the years you'll find us here. Moving higher.
Hello and welcome to Moving Iron Podcast. This edition of Moving Iron Podcast is brought to you by Dawson Tire and Will. This is our monthly sit down here where we talk about various things going on in the ag market pertaining to tires. But it's been a little bit longer than a month here, and it's good to have Eric back on the show. Eric, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you, Casey? Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate the opportunity to chat.
Yeah, no, it's good. I always enjoy these things. And Eric, you have a guest with you today, and her name is Cassie. Cassie, what's your last name?
Dinswani.
All right, Cassie. So, well, thank you guys for being on the show. And Eric reached out to me with an idea about this month's session, and it was a good one. It's warranty, and there's a lot of things that play into warranty, whether it's warranty on machinery or warranty on tires, and how the manufacturers react to that and what they do. So, Eric and Cassie, Cassie, first off, why don't you introduce yourself and what you do for Dawson Tire?
Sure. Well, my name is Cassie Dinswani. I've been with Dawson Tire for about 2 years now, specializing in their customer experience and warranties. So I problem solve for the most part for Dawson Tire and make sure the customer is taken care of at the end.
Good. That's an important part of that. Customer experience is a big part of any kind of sales job for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't take care of the customers, it's kind of a business is a bit of a short-lived experience, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't last very long. All right, so let's talk about warranty for a little while. So warranty is one of those. There's a lot of misconceptions that go into warranty. And the idea of what is covered, what isn't covered, when is a hazard, a field hazard situation, something that can be warranted. What is just the overall idea of warranty? There's a million things that play in that. So, Eric or Cassie, either one, why don't you guys give the definition of the manufacturer's point of view when they're talking about what warranty means on a tire?
Yeah, well, just to back up a second, Casey, we get so many questions about warranty around ag tires, and the average ag tire is probably $2,500 to $3,500 today, and so we just hope there was some education to put out there that people can have a little bit of knowledge going into the purchase of a tire, and also when something does go wrong to make sure that they're getting treated correctly, because we found over the years that if you can properly take care of the warranties, it definitely builds customer loyalty and just the relationship with the customer. So there are, as you mentioned, there's the manufacturer's workmanship and material warranty, which is if something goes wrong when they make the product. And then there's the policies around field hazard and stubble damage. So we wanted to dig into those both just a little bit. I don't know if that's a good place to kick off.
Yeah. So I think the easy way to kind of, when you look at warranty, I'm sure every manufacturer has a different definition of what that workmanship and quality control and those kind of things all mean. So it's just kind of a broad brush. What does that definition mean, and what is the simplest way to define workmanship in warranty?
Sure. I think Eric did a really good job trying to cover all the bases there. I would say there is an industry standard for what the ag tire warranty piece looks like. And like Eric said, is anything that can be determined as a failure in manufacturing the tire. So you're going to see bar or lug cracking. That's where you see separation from the lug and the tire. Delamination, it kind of looks like the tire is flaking or like the skin is peeling off. Low base gauge, where you can see any form of cord coming through the tire that's not due to stubble. You see feed mire migration, anything that it's clearly happened in the formation of the tire would be what's covered by warranty.
Gotcha. Okay. So one of the other things that we hear a lot is, stubble damage and wear and abnormal wear and those kind of things. Talk about that a little bit and how that plays into warranty.
Yeah, so uneven wear is a piece of the warranty outside of stubble. So that's going to be manufacturer side. Stubble, on the other side, we see a lot more of. I know Eric has some good information around why stubble is cropping up more and more.
Yeah, so I think, Casey, I'd be glad to hear your perspective. You're kind of maybe in a little drier climate, but it seems like we've seen in the last 10 years just a real rise in stubble issues with tires, and I think a lot of that, I'd be glad to hear your perspective, but a lot of that's the genetics that have been bred into the grain. The corn stands wheat just a whole lot different than it used to be, so I don't think the tires have really kept up. Just what do you see? From the equipment dealers, do you see a lot of equipment coming in with excessive stubble damage, or what are producers doing on the front end to mitigate that?
Well, I think for the most part, there's been we're seeing more stubble damage than we've seen in the past. More and more producers are looking at using like a stock stomper or other kind of stock roll type of mechanisms on the front of the machines to do that. I think a lot of those too, they're looking at, for me to run a piece of equipment and also have to worry about wearing out tires faster than normal, those stock stompers really do kind of pay for themselves pretty quick when you really start looking at it. Our irrigated corn guys are the ones that we see really kind of venturing into that realm, which makes more sense because they, like you said, genetics and those stalks are pretty tough. I mean, it's amazing that a corn stalk can do what it does to a tire. Of all things on Earth, you wouldn't think a corn stalk would have that much of an effect on hard rubber like you see on a tire, but it does play a significant effect on there, and we are seeing more and more of it. But we're also seeing more and more guys that are doing things that are trying to mitigate that, whether it's stock rolls or like you talked about before we got started, looking at some different angles of tread and those kind of things, like a less aggressive angle to where the stock kind of rolls off there a little bit. A lot of guys are going across the stalks and not with the stalks and trying to be, trying to mitigate as little as possible as far as contact with the actual crop goes after it's been hard.
Yeah, so we are seeing a lot of questions about tread angle. It's interesting you brought that up, that the straighter the lug, while it perhaps gives more traction, just in a stubble situation doesn't let that stalk roll away from the tire. It just becomes a point to dig in and see in it. So the newer, what I call the European tread design, which came out of Europe, the sweeping lugs help a lot. Unfortunately, the chopping corn heads have made it worse because that leaves a cornfield full of stalks that are 4 to 5 inches tall and razor sharp. We know a lot of times the conditions don't allow it, but if you can let the stalk get a little taller where it's, a foot or 16 inches tall, it makes a world of difference in reducing damage on their tires.
Yep. Yeah, that's a big deal. You wouldn't, like I said earlier, you just can't, it's hard to believe that a corn stalk would do as much damage to a tire as it does. But from a warranty perspective, when you're looking at stubble damage, how does that play into all that?
Yeah, so I'll let Cassie speak to that, just kind of the details of what's covered, how it's covered, and she had some points that I thought I knew everything about tires, but I even learned something today. So
Right on.
We can start with what Eric didn't already know. Actually, I think that's the most important piece. The minute you start noticing stubble on your tires, contact your dealer, because we can actually start a case on that and let it hang out there until your tire goes down, more or less, and we can backfile to the date you first noticed the stubble. With a stubble damage warranty, same thing with field hazard even, they will not warranty if it's repairable, and they will not warranty unless the tire is failing. They want to make sure you get as much use out of that tire as possible before jumping in and warranting it, or field hazard.
So is that most manufacturers do that?
Yeah.
So to talk through that, Casey, we're out there planting and noticing what we think is excessive wear. It's important to let your servicing dealer know, because even though that tire might not fail for a year and a half or 2 years, if you filed it, you can go back to the date you first filed, and they'll cover the claim back to that point, as long as there's a record of having put the dealer on notice, and then they're keeping track of that for you. So,
right.
Pretty important.
Yeah.
A piece to that, though, is tread depth. They will fall back down to tread depth on proration, but you are still likely to get more for the tire than you would if you wouldn't have notified immediately.
Okay. So at what point does tread, we'll get a lot of tires that come in, we'll see them come in, and they're perfectly good. As far as holding air and stuff goes, they're fine, but they've been, the lugs and the bars and those kind of things are all pretty well beat up and nicked and just look like crap. Is there a warranty that comes into effect with the way that the actual tread bars are kind of left when the condition they're left in? Is that a warrantable event, or does it have to be the tires not holding air?
The tire has to not be holding air. It has to fail.
Okay, I got you. All right. So the key thing there, when you start noticing stubble damage, it's the minute that you see it, get a hold of the dealer, and we can then get a hold of you guys and start getting that warranty. I guess that record of history start to kind of be out there.
Right.
Right. All right. So let's talk about, while we're on that idea of field hazards. I'm plugging along and I run over a T-post or a deer antler or something like that ruins a sidewall or something like that. Can't fix a tire. How does that work for a warrantable situation?
A handful of manufacturers actually cover that field hazard type warranty. It's usually 2 years or less, and you never receive a 100% reimbursement, but they're happy to meet you in the middle. Often you see 50% for the first year that they will cover, and then 25% that second year, just to kind of, give you a leg up. Nobody likes to deal with the field hazard, and the manufacturers know that.
So it's important to note that not every ag tire manufacturer offers field hazard.
Correct.
Is that an additional warranty that can be purchased at the time of purchase when you get your tires?
I have not actually seen anything like that, no.
It's something we've actually talked about, because you can buy road hazard on your car tires when you go to somewhere to get. It's something we batted around, but it's kind of a risk versus reward there, Casey. I'm not sure I want to get into the business of insuring ag tires.
Yes, insurance business. That's a tough one, right? You gotta win more than you lose. That's the fun part of those. Yeah. So it's if I'm just a regular farmer out there, bought a new set of tires, and I plan on keeping the tires. I plan on keeping the tractor I've got for however 2 or 3 years or whatever the number is. What is the typical life cycle of a warranty on a tire right now? Like, is it vary from use to use? Is there different warranties for dairy operations compared to a row crop operation versus a cattle operation? Is there a big difference between that, or is it all just kind of cut and dry?
It's all pretty cut and dry. Ag versus construction versus commercial would be what separates the warranties. So the ag warranties, currently the longest ag warranty is 10 years, but they hover around that 7-8 year.
On the workmanship and materials.
On the workmanship and materials, correct.
And that's mostly the radial. Typically your bias would be
5 to 6.
The 4 to 5, 6 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Your stubble damage is more typically 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Nobody goes above 3 years on stubble.
And one thing we would know, Casey, on workmanship and material, on the first year or two, we see a lot of first 2 years free or first year free, and they would also cover labor. So for a tire dealer to go out and pay for the service column, the demount, remount. A lot of the manufacturers will pick that up, but never on like a field hazard or stubble damage. You're always going to pay your own labor on covering that.
Well, good stuff. If there's what's the easiest way to get the information on the warranty? What's out there? I mean, I guess if I'm buying a set of tires, what's the one tip, Cassie, that you're going to give folks out there on trying to understand and know what the warranty actually is for the brand of tires they bought?
We actually have access to every brochure here at Dawson Tire, so you could just email me at cs@dawsontire.com. I can get you access to those. You can ask your sales rep, or you can find them online. Pictures are the biggest thing. If you can get pictures of the damage of the tire, as well as the DOT code or the serial number of the tire, those are the two most important things when filing a warranty.
One thing I would say, Casey, is and I think you probably recognize this from being a dealer for a manufacturer, there's a lot of loyalty built in our world by manufacturers that take better care of their warranties or are easier to deal with. So, if you call us and ask us what brand we recommend, we're going to take into account, what are you doing, what soil type you in, what's your machine application. But in the back of our mind, we're the reputation, we're the brand, and when something goes wrong, we're going to recommend something that we know the manufacturer is going to take care of. And we're not going to get into different brands today, but there is a world of difference in manufacturers that take care of dealers on their warranties and not. And it's a big deal because it's big money, as we started the conversation with.
Yeah, warranty in any business is a big deal for the manufacturer and for the dealer, because like you said, it's the one selling that piece of equipment. That's the reputation it's their reputation that's on the line, and that's the customer's first interaction with that brand is not so much they're buying a Goodyear or a Firestone or something like that. They're buying a Dawson tire, and that's who they have.
Right.
That's how you handle that is a big deal.
And I'll just say that very same thing there. In exactly what you said, that their experience isn't buying a Goodyear or a Firestone or a Michelin. It's the person they bought the tire from, and when I can't take care of that tire, it's a big deal to me. And we're just glad of manufacturers that do stand behind their stuff and help out.
Yep.
And really, with the stubble damage and the field hazard, that is just pure customer service on their part to take care of that.
Absolutely. Well, good stuff. Tire warranty is a big deal, and a warranty of any kind, especially when you start looking at the dollars that you get involved in buying tires and equipment today, is very expensive. So understanding what that warranty looks like and what you can and can't do as far as that goes a long ways in targeting what kind of customers how your customer's going to react to what you have going on. So good stuff, guys. Well, Eric and Cassie, thanks for being on the podcast here. If folks want to get out and reach out to Dawson Tire and Will, what's the best way to do that?
Well, you can email us at sales@dawsontire.com, or you can email, if you got a warranty question, again, Cassie, you want to give your email?
cs@dawsontire.com is the easiest way. Customer service, cs@dawsontire.
Or 888-604-3403.
Right on.
Pick up the phone and call.
Well, good stuff. Well, Cassie and Eric, thanks for being on the podcast. And I'm Casey Seymour with Moving Iron Podcast. Make sure you check me out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That's where you're going to find all the latest podcasts as well as blog information that comes out. Also, check out movingironllc.com for all the latest Moving Iron podcast news. And check out the Moving Iron LLC website for all the latest information on the Moving Iron Summit in Nashville, Tennessee, September 1 through 3. That is on social distancing has been lightened quite a bit there in the Nashville area, so look forward to having that this year. So I guess with that, I am Casey Seymour with Eric McPherson and Cassie from Dawson Tire and Will. Let's go move some iron, folks. Out.
Moving iron in the 21st century. Hard-working people working hard for you and me. Moving iron time and time again. Through the years you'll find us here.